Hello everybody, how's everyone day? I'm Mega Kita there. So today topic we are going to ask ourselves, is Nexon as well as Ubisoft, both of the top gaming company, considered a greedy corporation or it's just part of their marketing scheme? So in regards, both of them have been so-called called by many gamers for being a greedy. As for Nexon, they actually kind of like got into a very interesting situation where Nexon was fined nearing $9 million by Korean regulation over misleading user over MapleStory and other loop odds due to like trying to trick gamers into thinking that they can have a chance of getting that rare item, but end out that they are actually not able to get such a thing from Lootbox in their or in games item or this thing, as well as that Ubisoft going along with the line with a news indicating that Ubisoft stating that gamers need to get comfortable not owning their game for subscription to take off. There's a lot of content to put into both situations, but because of the such title, in a way it can be stated that gaming company are actually a greedy bunch, because a lot of top games are, and it actually kind of like got me into do a little bit of researching on back end. And also as I was like researching for Nexon, because I did talk about this in one of my night chat, not really night chat, in one of my gaming stream, like, and I discussed about a bit of the backlog and research things that I know. But one of the things that got quite a few people to kind of like raise an eyebrow on many ends is that they feel like even so the gaming industry is still considered a greedy branch, which I don't disagree, because there are quite a few of them. But the thing is, right, we are going to put into contents about what actually happened for Nexon as well as for Ubisoft, like got a lot of gamer to be pissed off and angry, but on the other hand we are going to like give an like understanding on what actually truly happened in all end, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, so for Nexon, there are quite a few situations that got a lot of people talking about Nexon, is that they got found out, like Nexon well known for the game MapleStory and other MMORPG game in the past. Bubble Fighter first person shooting game, I believe. So the thing is, right, MapleStory, anyone who think of Nexon, the first thing in their mind would definitely be MapleStory. It's the one of the game that was released in the early 2000, and the game that I used to play a lot back in the day. The thing is, right, I noticed one of the things that got me questioning back in the days, and it really is a very problematic, because it's like I spend quite a lot, I wouldn't say it too much, but the thing is, right, when I check, like it always tend to be a little by little, but as time passed by I realized that I spent quite a lot in MapleStory myself, and I could have saved the money to get a better computer or any other things out along the line. But why would I invest in MapleStory and spend a lot of money on it? The thing is, right, what you guys might not be aware is that MapleStory, their character skin or in-game clothes or cash item, all those things actually have a deadline. They don't last forever. Just like in the saying say that everything don't last forever, MapleStory make it apparent in their in-game skin cash item that most of them can last for a few weeks to even just only up to 3 months. Meaning to say that when you pay for a skin for any other game, let's say Mobile Legend or even Genshin, like when you get a character, or any other game, when you get a skin, all of them is that you pay once, you get it forever. But it does not apply to MapleStory. MapleStory is one of the earliest game, like again, early 2000. It's like 2002 or 3. I can't remember which year of it. But it was released during that period. And that is when it kind of like dawned upon me, like, why would I've been like encouraged by a lot of people to spend money to get skin item to make your character look cool, make your character look unique, so that you stand out from other people, because your character looks so damn not shiny or whatsoever. So the thing is, right, in the end, I was like, yeah, all right, I'll spend some money on it. And when I mean, like, I did got into peer pressure at the time. So when you think about it, right, and there's also time when when in order to become more powerful in MapleStory, you end up having to use the Lootbox system or gacha system. And the gacha system is more towards like you have to pay a lot of money, like a lot, for each pool to get one rare item. But the thing is, right, the rare item tend to be easily gotten by drop for monster or just a few hours of grinding. And it will end up kind of like having to like wondering why will you spend a lot of money to get a easy to get item. And the reason being that they stated that one of the rare drop offer more than not in those gacha is actually a very top tier rare item that can only get them by that way. And that is where we have to come to the story where they actually come up with this issue where Nexon have to pay Korean officials for misleading player over Lootbox. According to new report, the company went into trouble with antitrust regulation in South Korea that found them guilty of violating the consumer protection of ECA or Electronical Commute Act. Meaning to say that they put a fake op. Meaning, in a simple way, is that if you do play Genshin Impact, they will say that the chance of getting a 5-star character out of 90 put is that it increased as time passed by. But in MapleStory, the chance of getting that rare item was actually not 0.0. It's not like in what they stated 1%. It can be 0.0000001%. Meaning to say that the chance of getting that game-breaking item in MapleStory, impossible. There is also the chance that them even make it 0%, so that the chance of anyone getting it will not be happening. So that is one of the marketing scheme that Nexon have been doing for years. Okay, it had been in the system for years. It always get me wondering, like, why is it so hard to get some of the rare item in or game breaking item in MapleStory? Is that the chance of the gacha system had already been rigged since then, and that is when people need to understand, like, one of the reason why I did not play MapleStory. Like, a few years afterwards, I did not play MapleStory anymore, because I realized that the chance of getting the game best item is only by money, as well as that you have to use real life money to get it. And even if you don't need real life money, the chance of getting meso, like a lot of meso, is near impossible. And the only way to get meso is, again, you have to buy the meso. And over more than not, they will say that it's illegal to buy meso in MapleStory. But then again, you have to ask yourself, how the hell, like, farming for a few hours can net you that amount of money? So the in-game money. So the thing is, like, it's very impossible, and the game has always been ripped since then. MapleStory had always been such an issue, which is one of the reasons why I quit MapleStory. Like, I forced myself not to play it. Although I come out kind of like in and out play MapleStory for nearing 10 years plus, like in and out. But the thing is, right, it kind of like got me into thinking, like, the game had been weird ever since due to the in-game system. And I actually question myself, like, why would I buy a skin that only lasts me for a few days and then it will disappear on me? Like, if I buy a skin mod for a character, maybe if you guys are like playing any like Fortnite, Monster Hunter, like, you buy the skin for $10, you get the skin forever until the game server shut down, or when you no longer play the game. At least the skin is still be there. But in MapleStory, the skin, after 90 days, it disappeared. It will not stay with you. And that is when I realized that it does not worth buying those cash items, and it does not make sense for me to even play it in the first place, because the game has always been rigged ever since then. So they got far out. In 2023, they reported that South Korea had noted that, and that is when one question raised to my like, a lot of people saying, like, oh, they are a greedy branch, they got fired. And now here's the question for me to you guys, and we have to discuss and sit down and think about it. Where is the money going to? They had actually indicate that the South Korea will have to pay Korean official. Korean official meaning to say that the company have been found out, oh, we got found out, and now the money go to the Korean official, meaning to say that all the money that had lied and cheat out of many people all over the world in the end, is it going into their pocket or is it going to the pocket of the Korean official? That question is like a lot of people will be saying like they have to compensate to all of the players all around the world, which I don't believe so. Reason is being that one of the reason why I would say that is that they are going to pay to the official, meaning to say either the court proceeding or the government of Korea, but the money will not go a single down to us, the players. The only way it will happen is that when all players for MapleStory decided to stop playing, because you guys have to be amazed that MapleStory is one of the long-lasting game ever since then. Like I think it's already over 20 years already, and a game that can last that long and get still having a fan base in it is astonishing. It's just that the in-game system had in my opinion, been a little bit weird, and you got I know this when people start thinking about, oh, they are being greedy. Well, as far as I want to give you guys the second side of the coin, we will have to proceed into another part of the story called Ubisoft and their issue. I'll give you more information in the last part of the video, so you guys just hold on to that. So in regard is that Ubisoft come up with a statement indicating that they got quite a lot of people talking about it. They got quite a lot of people thinking about it. So the thing is, right, in a nutshell, Ubisoft exclusive say gamer need to get comfort with not owning your game. Putting into context, right, what they mean is the physical DVD, CD that when you buy a game, okay? So this one have to again fall on the current era and technology in a way, and to let you guys understand is that in recent years, many people have been getting games through Steam or online instead of buying the physical DVD or CD. And if you think about it, right, less and less players would consider getting the physical copy of the game. Like, often more than not, people will always tend to buy the digital version. And why would that be? Well, the thing is, right, if you think about it, right, digital version versus physical copy of the game, in modern era, it does not make sense to buy digital copy. Like, it really doesn't make sense anymore, because technology had advanced to the point that you do not need to get a DVD or CD reader for a computer, or in the case that you console, you definitely, if you want to, if you get a physical copy, you have to keep on switching now you want to play a different game, you have to keep on switching the console, the cartridge, the DVD, all these things. Like, you have to keep on switching it in order to play the game, and it make no sense, right? So the thing is, right, a lot of people try to make their life easier, and they end up getting the digital copy in in their console or in their computer, and that is when you realize that in modern era it's much convenient and also space efficiency, because when you don't own the game, right, at least in your own house, if your space is very, very small, you do not need to like wonder where you have to keep those games. And that is the pro and the con combined in one. Because the thing is, right, what you guys have to understand that when game exclusive thinking that, oh, if they can choose not to spend any money into creating the physical copy of the game, then why would they actually go to the point of like saying like you must own the game? Like in the past, buying the DVD, there is like the normal DVD version, then there is the limited edition DVD version where you just want the case of this thing, and often more than not, like, there is a good part of why such a thing always happen is that a lot of people will think that, oh, I got a physical copy, I can keep it in my house. But as time passes by, people choose not to have the physical copy anymore, because they realize that they don't need to spend they don't need to go and get rid of the game, or maybe go and sell it to secondhand shop, all this thing along the line. But there is, like, what you guys might be missing out is that when you own a digital copy, it's very hard to resell it. Only the physical copy mean that in the future, when you need to give it to other people to play, or when you want to sell it to secondhand shop, that is when it became much easier, because when you sell to secondhand shop, at least maybe you can earn a little bit more money back, because but if the copy is in your computer, you can't sell it. It'll be part of your life, and you'll be part to the point where until the server die down, or when you no longer own the computer, or when you don't own, you forget your account, and that is when things just went there. So Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It is good because it helped, like I mentioned, it helped to save space. You don't at home. You don't need to like, oh, where's my DVD? Oh, I lost my DVD. I need to, I mean the physical copy of the game, and then I need to go and find it, and then I need to play the game. You can just switch on your console or your PC, and then the game is there. That's all. It's easy. But again, like I mentioned, not only the physical copy can be considered a bad thing in a way, is that it loses a little bit of gaming experience or gaming friend experience, because back in the past, only the physical copy had actually a thing is that often more than not, like I mentioned earlier, is that you can sell it to second-hand shop. So there are actually quite a lot of people who speedrun the game itself and then they sell the game back to the shop, because it means that they complete the game, they don't feel like playing the game anymore, and they just want to sell it. Yeah, that's one thing way. But on the other hand, what you guys might not be aware is that there are also times when there will be a group of friends buying one game, and the game is shared within the group. Or even in the case that if I do own the game and I got one friend who didn't have the game, I can lend it to them. So it is how you make gaming friend in the past. It's like you share the game, you discuss, and if your friend don't have the money to buy the game, obviously they will be thinking of way of that. Okay, since if the game is too expensive, I don't have the means of get the game. Why would I want to play the game anymore? And that is when you lose fan base, a potential fan base. And the only way for that had to happen is that having a friend who owned the game, and then having that friend to lend it to them, to let them play the game. That is one of the reasons why I was able to play Monster Hunter 1 back then, because my uncle have the physical copy of the game when I went to his house, and he was able to lend it to me to play. It's like I'm the one playing the game, he's not. So at the end of the day, it's like, and at the end of the day, when I realized that one of my other friend want to try the game, and I asked my uncle to lend me the game for a few weeks, and then I lent to my friend, and then I returned the DVD after my friend completed way faster than me. It's that we realized that we both love Monster Hunter, and when Monster Hunter second generation was released in PlayStation Portable or PSP at that time, we both decided to get the game together. We both really spent money on it, okay? After saving our pocket money for a year or two, and we really seriously bought the game together, and we played the game together. Reason being is that we found out that we played the first generation, and that is when our interest clicked. Although my friend now is a friendly man, and he don't play game much, but the thing is, right, if you think about when me and my friend do meet out at time and we discuss about the fun old time when we used to play Monster Hunter together, it actually got into us thinking about like what would happen if we did not if I did not share my uncle the Monster Hunter 1 to my friend. You definitely not realize how fun it was hunting monster back then, to the point that we actually hunt from second generation together all the way to the 5th generation as. Although in World and Iceborne and Rise and Sunbreak we don't play together, my friend did like kind of like not play the game, because he was like, yeah, he's a friendly guy, and he's just kind of like stopped gaming as a whole. He's just busy with his work and his children, so he can't really play game anymore. Which is the reason why I'm saying I'm an old man, a single virgin old man, and yet he's not. Okay, the thing is, right, joke aside, gaming, like when you think about like gaming sharing is a thing good that is considered a good thing in the past, but why is it a bad thing nowadays when people say, oh, I can save space, like all these things? Well, the thing is, right, when you want to share your game with your friends, especially the digital version, right, it's impossible unless you're able to like you let them play your console, or maybe use your PC to play the game, and then when they accidentally delete your save file, and then that is when you create more issue. Yeah. And then people will say that, bring you like, why you let other people play your own game? You should let them download their own game along the line. Like that is when a potential fan became a potential rival, or a person that you hate along the line. So in a way, right, game share, like if you got a physical copy, you share it to your friend. Yeah, that is a good way, because if your friend got a computer, you can just lend the physical copy and then they can play the game. But now in this era when everything is digital, there's no way to share the digital version. So the only way is that your friend have to get the game themselves. And that is when I said the corporate greed come from. Reason being is that when you bought the digital copy and your friend want to play the game and they have to got the copy themselves, the company is actually earning from everyone, because every digital copy they sell, they earn the money. So back in the past, like I mentioned, when I share with my friend games, right, the company don't own the money because we are sharing. We like one game spread to around a few other gamers, they only earn from that one physical copy. But in digital version, when everyone want to share and play the game together, there is like each of them have to get the digital version, and that is when even more money start rolling to the company. And that is one of the reasons why I say the corporate greed are looking at the money. And I thought in my one of my stream that money thoughts, I say that this is when the third part of the video we have to discuss and sit down, like why corporate greed is a thing. Thing is, right, corporate greed in gaming company greed, right, is really run very, very deep. You guys have to understand one thing is that there is a lot of things that in this word when I say money talks, right, it really means money talks. You can't have anything for free or whatsoever. And in a way, why I say money talk in a way is that if you guys think about it, right, they have to pay for the salary of employees, people, and people who do the work for them, like the artist, the designer, the programmer. They have to pay for them. That is number one. Number two, they have to pay for the system software and all the network stuff. Reason being that if they don't have the equipment, like the server, like MMORPG, right, they have to pay for the huge server thing, and then they have to pay for the equipment of the computer that they use to create the game all this time, right? Like all those things need to have money. Like and that is when I say money talks. Because if you don't have the money, you can't have anything for free. And when you can't have anything for free, what happened? You have to pay for it. It's just like in a simple metaphor. If I give you guys, can you go to the food court or any restaurant and tell them that I want to eat the most expensive food in your menu and then I want to eat it for free? Impossible. In this world, anything will always say that you need money to do all those things. And that is one of the reasons why I say money talks. Because when you have the money, you can do anything. And in this gaming industry, the one sad thing about everything is that you need money to do stuff. Although there are some people who do it for free, let's say indie game company, but it's not entirely not wrong or right in a way. Because if you guys think about it, right, a lot of game company, when they say that they don't earn a single salary or whatever for a few months until the game release, is that you guys, if you think guys about it, right, they have to like pay, like they have to on hold the payment to the employee, all these things, and in a way they have to like kind of like write down a debt, a single debt. And let's say for example, like a game, let's say for example, if they create an indie game and they use $1 million to kind of put on hold to pay for all the employers, the software use, the hardware cost, as well as the employer's salary, it's like, let's say it costs up to $1 million. The $1 million is put on hold. It means that the company they won't justify it as a bad debt or whatever. They will have to put it on hold. It is something they have to pay. And once the money come in, right, once the money start rolling in, and then and they say, oh, the profit come in already, it's a total of $1 million. The $1 million is not the profit. It's not that they sell they sell a lot of copy and then it make $1 million and the $1 million is not profit. That is not a profit. They have to use the $1 million to pay for the equipment, the rental, the employee salary, the stuff, all those other stuff, miscellaneous. And when that happened, right, the net profit in accounting business, net profit and profit is different, because profit is from the like the game price that they make, the assets amount they make, as well as the net profit is the overall actual profit they are making. So in a way, when you put up the net profit, and don't ask me why I know all this accounting, I have worked as an accountant in the past as a part-timer, so deal with it. So the thing is, right, when you understand, like when you count the accountability of net profit or this thing, right, you will notice that along the line that, yeah, they are not making any money. And the actual money is only after the debt, everything have been paid off, and that is when the excess money rolling in. And then when the money excess roll in, that is when the money start coming in. And one of the often more than not, you need the excess money. And where and how do the company come up with ways for the excess money? Because you have to, if you think about it, marketing is also cost one of the largest part of the money in term. So often more than not, right, if they can cut costs for, let's say, physical copy, or maybe like getting players to pay more in microtransaction or this thing, like what MapleStory did for microtransaction, as well as removing the physical copy for Ubisoft, that is one of the way to gain money and cut costs. And when that happens, you will see more money rolling in, and you get to see the net profit get increasing more and more, and that is when the money start to roll in. And is that a good thing or is it a bad thing? The sad thing is that even though it is a very, very bad tactic, it is still part of the marketing scheme. Notice that I only call it marketing scheme, not a marketing scam, because even though it's considered can be considered outright scam, they are trying to gain money. And when I mean, like, this is one of the way that in this world is that no matter how you guys think about it, right, investor or anyone who look at in the company as a whole, as a business as a whole, you have to think of way to come up with money. You have to think of way to gain excess money so that the company will survive, because you need to pay for rental, equipment, all these things, employee salary. And one of the sad thing that ever happened is that one of the worst thing also can be considered is that often more than not, the first to get cut off is not really called the equipment cut out. It's not like what Ubisoft trying to say, like physical copy cut out, because most of the game nowadays don't have physical copy. Let's say mobile games or computer game, MMORPG game, right? Those are downright don't own the physical copy. You just download it and then it's in your computer. Now, what does the issue with MapleStory have to do with all these things, like I mentioned, corporate greed, all these things, right? Is that when they got found out about all these things, they actually got another news happening to them. And as much as it's very, very sad to know, Nexon's own mobile studio, Pixelberry, is conducting layoff and stating that multiple people affected by the cut shared by the news on LinkedIn in and indicate the layoff will impact a variety of roles, ranging from QA staff and producer to artists and programmers. So in a way is that a great lot of people have been found out that they have been laid off, and even like system engineer or these things, they are all getting laid off. Again, is it due to the reason because they got Nexon company got found out that they have been manipulating with the system itself to trick players, or is it that they have to pay nearly $9 million, and the only way to get that $9 million is by layoff? But the thing is, right, when you guys think about the whole gaming culture, like the CEO all the way to the employees, like maybe director, manager, team leader, all these things, right? When you look at the whole as a whole of the system itself, it's actually very frustrating. Is that the higher you go, the more pay you get, and it's always been the mindset of everyone. You guys don't tell me that you guys think otherwise. It's like one of the reasons why a lot of people want promotion when they get into the job. When you get promotion, your rise pay, and the higher you go, the higher your pay is, because that is how everyone mindset is doing. The thing is, what we have to understand is that often more than not, when people get laid off, right, the first to go is always the one on the bottom. Reason being that they don't want the team leader, the higher up people, to get laid off, because either they got the talent to do so or whatever. But the thing is, right, at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense, because what made a company is everyone effort, everyone work together. But often more than not, a lot of people at the top will think that, oh, if the idea come from them, they should be staying, and they should keep their salary. They don't really think about, oh, because we are not making profit, they don't come up with the idea they have to cut their salary at all. They want to keep their salary, but they also want to they want to cut costs from salary. So the only way is by layoff. And it's often more than not, right, it's in the current era, it doesn't affect just only game company, it also affect in many other company in this world. I won't name drop a few because I I can't give my current my confirmation of those, but at the time of this moment, Nexon had this to their company, so it is one of the example. And one of the way that game company tend to lay off their stuff is that they kind of like see who is not doing their job, or this thing, or they is the most the troublemaker or problematic one, then they will kick them off. Those are the first to go, and then they will try to see who seems to be the most value to them that they want to keep, and maybe let's say age does play into sometimes age go into play. They don't care about the experience, all these things. They will kind of think about the, like, if you are young you can still learn, will keep you along the line. Maybe fresh young got fresh new idea, old people just got experience, but not what most of the people want nowadays, all these things. So it's like a lot of, often more than not, sadly, they got laid off again. So the most simple thing we have to sit down and ask, like, why can't the salary get cut out from the top? Like, often more than not, right, if you just remove the CEO who have been paid like millions of dollars per year, like, if you remove that guy, that cut out like almost like 99% of the issue for all game company, you know, because often more than not, it's the CEO that get the most pay. So the only way to get cut off is if the CEO don't get paid that much. If the CEO or all the top bash people got paid that much, obviously they are not gonna earn any money. Because you are like, if they like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would they want to cut out all the small little people that make all the work done for you, and then you keep all the profit to yourself? It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you have to share it to them. This is one of the issue, like when they come like not seeing the money, they lay off other people, not themselves. They don't fault themselves. And this is one of the frustrating thing that when people always say that why do gaming company is a greedy branch. It's like, it's, to me, it's not really a greedy branch. It's just the culture, how the culture and modern era people think nowadays, and it really been years ever since then. So often more than not, right, like, one of the ways is either they come up with ways to cut costs, or trying to get way to get people to own the game or spend more money on their game, like through microsystem, or maybe get more players to buy the game if the game it doesn't those things. So this really have been one of the things that caused a lot of controversy, a lot why people say that gaming company is a greedy bunch. To me, I do agree on that, but at the same time, it doesn't mean like, you have to look at again, like I mentioned, they have to pay off debt, they have to pay off equipment, they have to pay off the server, they have to pay off the employees, all these things. And when I say employees, right, it also includes the owner as well as the CEO, or this the top branch, where they are paid almost millions per year along the line. So when you think about it, right, often more than not, you have to understand, like, why would like a company always be called a greedy bunch? Is that often more than not, I feel like it's the top, like, the salary is the one that do the most cost, and the second in line is always marketing. It's always marketing. So a game, like, a lot of people say, like, why can't a group of people create a game for free? Like, some of the successful game that have been like not having too much cost and it still got a lot of attraction, let's say Holocure, that there have been a fan-made games, or even like some of the indie games that you don't need to pay that much, and there's a lot of people playing the game. Yeah, it does make sense. But at the end of the day, right, when you think about it, when you are in a big corporate versus a smaller one, the smaller one tend to see the cost on a smaller scale. But when you're going big, again, I mentioned a big gaming company like Nexon and Ubisoft, they are looking at biggest number. The number are so huge to the point that it is considered in the millions to billions. And as much as I hate to admit that, I can't put my stand on both ends. I won't defend the company. I'm just giving you guys the second side of the coin, the other side of the coin, that why would they consider doing it. But I'm also not on your side, because sometimes for me, who had friends in gaming industrial, and especially like a few of my friends work in one of the company, I won't say which company, but work in those company themselves. Often more than not, you have to look deeper, you have to research deeper and understand why would all these things come about. It's always part of the part to the reason why the skill, if I put up right now, is always one sentence and one word itself, like I've been saying throughout the whole video, and that is money talks. Money has always been one of the things that make the world go around. You can't, like I mentioned, you can't go to a shop or restaurant and eat the most expensive food and then say it has to be for free because that you got no money. No matter what, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for the service, you have to pay for the ingredient, you have to pay for the person who made the food. You have to pay for it. And that's the reason why money talks. And in this case, right, you can't really fault the game company for trying to be a greedy bunch, because in a way is that they have to make money for the company. If the company is not making money, then in a way it doesn't make sense for them to exist in the first place, and we weren't able to get to see games like MapleStory in the first place. It will just last for a few years and then it will disappear. So one of the reasons why game company always tend to stay along year is that they think of way to make money for the game company, profit in a way so that they can last longer. And when they became bigger and bigger, when they hired new staff, they have to also lay off some staff, sadly. But when they keep all the talented people and lay off all the bad people, and at the same time they will kind of like make sure that they give them, they have to pay for the salary, right? Even if they lay off some people and they in some country they have to pay for the compensation or this thing, right? They still have to they have to pay them money. And where does the money come from? From the gamers, from the consumers. And often more than not, sadly, they will come up with ways like increasing the price of the game, like as crazy amount of microtransaction in the game, like DLC, skin more, in-game item, all these things. And often more than not, although a lot of people may not like it, that's how the game company come up with ways. And one of the reasons why I don't say it's called marketing scam, it's called marketing scheme. It's one of the way to make money. It's always been that way ever since, like in the early 2000s when gaming started blooming or along the year. And a lot of people saying like when EA come out with the worst microtransaction in game, like one bullet costs $1. Like when Penguin Z0 or any other gamer say like, oh, that's the most crazy thing they ever heard. It has existed long ago. MapleStory was the main example that I myself forgotten. I remember the best part of MapleStory and I intend to keep it that way. But MapleStory has always been the prime example of how a corrupted gaming can become over the years. And when EA games come up with the idea that microtransaction should be pay per this thing, right? It has happened to MapleStory. It has always been such a thing that if anyone want to know, go and tell Penguin Z0 or Evil ML go to watch this video. I would say that MapleStory has always been part of the place where you have to pay money for an in-game item that only lasts you 90 days, and then 90 days if you want to keep the item you have to pay again the same amount, and the amount of the skin can cost from $5 to $30 depending on how good the design look like. So there's, in a sense, right, you have to ask yourself like, why would microtransaction have been a thing? Terra Online Perfect World in the old OG game, right, they did cost along that line. But MapleStory is to me is always the OG version, where manipulation of the loot box chances, the gacha system, the rip, many people call the rip gacha system, as well as the microtransaction of in-games item, right? It always been MapleStory the first frontline people to create all these things. And it's kind of like, it's said that only after 20 years around that they got caught. It really said after it only been caught. And why do I not talk about this game like a lot? Is that there is no evidence to back it up. There's really no evidence to back it up, and even if you had their system to check it out, they will still charge you for hacking, and that is not a very good thing. So at the end of the day, it's kind of sad that only after 20 years they got caught, and the practice had only been found out by many people. But the thing is, right, it always had exists. It's always been there, and whether you like it or not, that's how the world in gaming work. And when one company notice how one company work, what do? I copy your answer. I copy your question. I copy every single thing, and then I just kind of maybe twist, maybe add in a different genre or game or whatever to make it that it's only my game. So the thing is, right, when EA come out, if you guys go and check the EA coming out with that microtransaction story, is actually after MapleStory. So in a way, I'm not sure is it that he used MapleStory as an example for that, but in a way, it has always been there. The microtransaction manipulation of game drop, in-game drop charge, all these things, it's always been there. It's always existed. It's always been an issue, and it's always been one of the things that I hate about MapleStory. But I choose to remember all the good part, all the best gaming friends that I made in MapleStory, all the friends that all the best memory I made, and I intend to keep it that way. I do not want to keep all the bad memory, especially in game, all these things that can cause a lot of frustration. So at the end of the day, how do you guys feel about this? I know I talk quite a lot. Normally I don't talk about too much, but when I put two topics with the same issue, like gaming company being greedy, I'm not saying like all game company are that way. There are some game company that either not got caught, or they are really truly a good company that are actually putting gamers first and trying to give the best to the consumer. Then there's no point of me saying like every gaming company always are considered bad. It's just that at the end of the day, it depends on what kind of marketing scheme or tactic they use is considered morally good or morally bad, depending on how you look at it, as well as that how it like it depends on how you feel about Nexon or Ubisoft as a whole. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because there is always a two side of the coin. It's really hard to know which one is considered good, which one is considered right. Because if you think about the company that I mentioned, to us we got scammed or tricked because of the company, but on the other hand, the company is making money so that they can pay off their employees. So at the end of the day, it's two sides of the coin. That's really hard to know who is right, who is wrong. And I'm just giving my take, I'm just giving my opinion. So if you guys feel like there is something, you got your own thought, you got your own idea, you got your own reaction, you got your own all these things, right, write in the comment below and we can discuss it further, and we can know what kind of thing we can talk more, or things that we can discuss further all these things. So if you do, so with that being said, if you guys do so sorry about that, if you do like this video, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe, and maybe share the video to more people to understand that sometimes there is always two sides of the coin. It's really hard to know who is right, who is wrong in terms of moral. But in this case, it's really put against like, is it really they are greedy or not? I mean, like, you can write in the comment below, do you guys think it's greedy or not? But till then, until maybe a next random chat or live stream, if you guys want to discuss this further, just chat with me when on live stream if you feel like you want to ask me about that. And hope you guys have a nice day or night. Bye.